On this week's GTA 6 o'clock, PS5 Pro will offer the best GTA 6 experience. 60 FPS is being achieved on the PS5 Pro only. How much could this cost?
It's just too much. It's too much money.
And GTA 6 on PS6. I'm going to say the words out loud. Grand Theft Auto 7. It's all here on this week's GTA 6 o'clock. Hello and welcome to episode 83 of GTA 6 o'clock, your number one source for GTA 6 news, rumours and conversation. I'm your host, James JJ Jarvis, and there are now only 307 days until the release of the GTA game that will define a generation, GTA 6. Joining me today to discuss everything from the last week or so is Dan D.D. Dawkins.
Hello.
Hello, Dan. I changed the intro, our little tagline. Did you like that?
I did. I don't know. I'm trying to keep track of what we are now. So we're no longer the world's number one and best connected
we're both.
show, but we're also the number one source for GTA 6 news, rumors, and conversation.
You just can't put those two things next to each other. It's too long.
It is too long. Well, all right. Let's pick my lane for the newsletter. But yeah, I like it. All these things are true. All these things are true.
So we are here to speak about everything that's happened over the last week or so. With that in mind, I haven't done as much prep for this episode as maybe some of the other episodes because in the last 48 hours, I've been here in the UK, in Poland, and then in Amsterdam, and now I am back here again for some secret stuff. I'm not back here for secret stuff. I was away for secret stuff. Speaking of secret stuff, you should maybe tune into the Future Game Show on August 20th, and you might see some of that secret stuff. It is not GTA related before you get excited.
Yeah, please do, because that is, I say our side hustle, our actual jobs is making gaming showcases and the Golden Joystick Awards. So please tune into those things. It allows us to make GTA 6 o'clock and also to be really stressed out making it, because I spoke to James yesterday and he was lamenting being served cold pasta for breakfast in a foreign location. So maybe that's fine.
It's a choice.
That's fine. Every country has their own little rules and routines around breakfasts. And I digress.
I actually had a very nice, this is going to sound very, anyway, avocado on toast with a poached egg for breakfast at the hotel.
The universal language of the bourgeois breakfast, James. So that's what I like to hear.
Well, and other extracurricular activities, Dan, you've been having great fun with booths as well, haven't you? Maybe
yes.
We won't go into that.
No, I've been designing a booth for the Gamescom Games Convention, which is the world's largest public attended games event. Our booth, sadly, will be hidden away from the public, but it will look fabulous. So, I spent a lot of time trying to translate German meanings for the word sign, which is written 3 different ways in 5 different planning tools. So that's been quite fun. All of that, and we still haven't talked about the order of the day,
no,
which is GTA 6, surprisingly.
Yes, and just to reiterate, the booth Dan was doing is for the Future Game Show. It's not a GTA 6 o'clock booth.
No.
Not this year.
No.
But it might be.
Maybe next year, in the year of our Lord GTA. So yes.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? So let's quickly have a look at some of last week's things. We were debating last week Raul and the team who were robbing a bank. And I said, oh, look, it looks a lot like this building. And actually, Yanis has been in touch via YouTube, who's part of the mapping project, the GTA 6 mapping project. He says, hey guys, mapping project member here. The building they are next to in the Raul clip is right next to the Four Seasons Hotel, the tallest building in the game, by the way. Four Seasons is right behind the camera, and that bank doesn't exist in the game, unfortunately, so I do think it's the Capitol they are robbing. In real life, if you look this up, this is the Santander Bank at 1401 Brickell Avenue. So I was on the right street. I was just one block or one building further down the road, and you do actually get to see the building. It is a bank. So thank you, Yanis, for pointing that out. And also, thank you very much for your work in the mapping community project, because that stuff is great.
Yeah, that's fabulous work. And we hold our hands up and say, mapping project, you're leading the way on this. So thanks for your contribution. It really helps.
So on to some of the things for this week. And there's a new rumor floating around that the PlayStation 5 Pro version of GTA 6 could be the only version of the game to run at 60 frames a second. Now, this comes from a Twitter account called Detective Seeds, and the full statement that they posted up was, GTA 6 has been and continues to hit 60 FPS while being optimized for the PS5 Pro on multiple graphical settings. PlayStation engineers are assisting with the optimization due to the new tech being implemented and rolled out with the current target date of May 2026. They are also assisting on several other Rockstar titles that are rolling out in the near future, pre-PS5 Pro 2026 update. As of right now, 60 FPS is being achieved on the PS5 Pro only. This could obviously change before release. And it is anticipated that GTA 6 will have multiple graphical options on the PS5 Pro on release. Also, the Rockstar PlayStation marketing deal is what's allowing and encouraging this collaboration on optimization. Should see several GTA 6 PS5 bundles in the next marketing push. This info is from a PlayStation engineer who has provided highly accurate and verified info several times in the past. That's a lot of words. They've obviously got X or Twitter blue there because they've written over 160 characters. But whatever you think of that account, Dan, I guess it is worth discussing some of these points.
So before we get into the tech chat, which I think is super interesting, and or whether we think this source is verifiable or to be trusted, the thing I quite like in here, because it's a nice tangent, is where he says they are also assisting on several other Rockstar titles that are rolling out in the near future, pre-PS5 Pro only, or pre-PS5 Pro 2026 update. So that's saying there's other Rockstar games coming out before next May 2026. What would that be?
Red Dead.
Red Dead
1 remake.
Do you think so?
I mean, that's the rumours, isn't it? That's the speculation.
And for like this year's festive game, you think? Or
I mean, what else? There aren't any other Rockstar. They ain't remaking Bully, or Midnight Club, or Table Tennis, or The Warriors.
GTA 4? That's been rumoured. I mean, I don't know how legitimately rumoured. I think it's been more wanted than rumoured. I think you're probably on the right track with Red Dead.
That feels the obvious choice to bring that up to current gen standards.
Yes.
In the wake of Red Dead 2 looking so pretty.
Yeah, agreed. Now, so that's a total sidebar, but I just thought it was interesting that that would be included as a detail within this, because actually, in a way, it's sort of like superfluous to his core point, which may or may not lend to the credibility of it, as we can discuss when we get into it. So,
well, yes. we can take a look at, and maybe there's sort of three things going on here. We can look at each one of them and see how plausible we think they are. This doesn't mean that they are truthful or factual, but the plausibility rating, and and then you can make your own judgment from there. So the first one, 60 frames a second on PS5 Pro. So GTA 6 will run at 60 frames a second on PS5 Pro. You want to give this a plausibility rating off the bat?
I will agree with the rating that we've written down.
We've written down 8 out of 10.
And it sounds really plausible. Yeah, like why have a PS5 Pro where you're not aiming to maximize it? And like one of the clear ways you would show a differential is frame rate. It could be to do with richness of lighting effects and blah, 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 blah. But like, yeah, it's a 60 frames per second mode potentially. So yeah, I think it's very plausible.
Now there's obviously things to discuss here, but the other bit is 60 frames a second not on other consoles, so that the PS5 Pro is the only system that will run the game at 60 FPS. My plausibility rating for this was 6 out of 10. I'm less confident that they'll lock that kind of performance to a singular console. There's a chance that happens, but it feels like Xbox Series X should be able to achieve that, maybe, question mark. Some of these things are already happening to back up that quite woolly statement I just made. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 Enhanced introduced a new performance mode achieving 60 FPS without compromising the cinematic experience, says the Ninja Theory Twitter account. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 Enhanced arrived August 12th for PlayStation 5, Xbox PC, Steam, and Game Pass. Performance mode is available on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PlayStation 5 Pro. That is a almost Microsoft first-party studio developed title running at 60 FPS, or will be running at 60 FPS. And then you've got things like Cyberpunk, and we all know the history of Cyberpunk, but recently patch 2.3 for Cyberpunk 2077 now sports full VRR support on PS5 and PS5 Pro. In Cyberpunk's case, VRR actually unlocks the 60 frames a second cap when using the game's performance mode. This means that the game's frame rate can reach up to 120 FPS in specific situations on PS5 Pro, based on Digital Foundry's testing, maintaining an average of 81 frames a second. This is from a Push Square article. The regular PS5 does benefit from VRR, holding an average of 63 frames a second. That's obviously not as impressive as the performance boost on Pro. All of which is to say, this feels achievable. Like it's happening right now on definitely PS5 versions of the games that are already out there. And in some cases, base PS5 versions can run some things that have been heavily patched and developed over the last however many years at 60-ish. And as we were discussing before we pressed the big record button, Dan, games now have a performance mode and a graphics mode. It's not called graphics, is it? But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like usually the choice is usually performance mode or quality mode.
I'd like them to call it graphics mode.
Graphics mode, it is like a graphics mode, like, you know, mega graphics mode. I am playing Death Stranding 2, which is like technically one of the best games out there right now. It's got some incredible scenes and, you know, the way the camera zooms out, it's incredible. But I didn't know I even had the choice of opting between the two. And am I playing at 30 or 60 frames? I literally don't know. And maybe we can get onto that later about what's the value of the frame rates and these sorts of things. I think that will GTA 6 be playable in 60 frames on, let's say, probably only Xbox Series X is the only console that's seriously in the conversation with PS5 Pro, surely, right? There's no PC version yet. So, like, that would obviously have that and beyond, probably, but that's coming down the road. Can X do it? It's just a question of, like, what does the base game look like? How demanding is it? We don't really know. Like, whilst we've seen gameplay, they say there's gameplay in the trailers, it still feels so hard to, you know, yes, it's gameplay, but it's going to feel and look different when you're in the game, isn't it? So,
yeah. And all of that gameplay, it's, you know, it says at the end of the trailer, it's captured on PS5.
Yes.
Does not say PS5 Pro.
Yes.
Make of that what you will. But they obviously wouldn't make those trailers to say captured on PS5 Pro, because then that sets an anticipation and a standard of going, oh, that's clearly the best version of the game.
Yeah, and I think nearer the time, if all this turns out to be true, releasing a sort of PS5 Pro specific social cut or slice will make a lot of sense. But as your base trailer, you're just setting the expectations wrong and it would look elitist. And for a game that was already beset with rumours if it's going to cost $100, it wouldn't be a good vibe for them. They don't need it.
No. And we might keep coming back to this question throughout the episode this week, but so far, is that enough to make you upgrade to a PS5 Pro, assuming you haven't already got one? Let's pretend for a minute, Dan, you don't have 3 PS5 Pros in your house.
Pretend?
Is the fact that this will be, allegedly, the best version of the game in terms of frame rate, probably, you know, it'll have graphical tweaks and all of that thing. Is this on its own enough to make you go, all right, now's the time?
I mean, look, right now, the decision to upgrade to a PS5 Pro, are there any games you can access only through PS5 Pro? No. Are there any games where I feel that there'd be sufficient enhancement to make a difference at this point in time? For me, no. A PS5 Pro in the UK is somewhere between, depending if there's a discount or not, £650 to £700, £699. It's an astonishing amount of money for a games console that, like, incrementally improves your games. I'm not saying the difference isn't noticeable, and I'm sure if I had it, I'd be like, I'm not going back. Such a large amount of money. So I think GTA 6 is probably going to be the first trigger point where the game, you know, this is a once in a generational style event, once every decade. Perhaps you do want to, you know, it's like watching a sports cup final where you might tidy the house and get your best beers out and put the plates out nice. You want it to feel like a special occasion. So I feel like with GTA 6, yeah, definitely that. And the hope is also that the price comes down.
Yes.
Because if it is still that, £650 to £700 workout equivalent in your market, that's still a bit rich for my blood, unless the performance difference is like, whoa,
Yeah.
wow, I cannot step back. But if it's a difference between, say, iPhone 16 and 15, or the Dyson V12 versus the V11, whatever it is, right? Some sort of incremental.
You know what the Dyson V12 and V11 is. Don't pretend.
I actually
Don't pretend you haven't done your Hoover research.
Is the sucking power like sufficiently worth, whatever it is amount of money? I don't know. You can convince yourself it is, but I'm not sure. So like for me, I'm very, very, very on the fence. And I think PS5 Pro in any scenario would have to come in under £500. Like, it would definitely have to do
well,
that.
I've got some news for you.
Well, and the game...
And I'm sorry.
And if the game's £100 or $100, that's complete speculation, by the way. I'm not even sure it will be. But that's a major investment.
Yes.
Major investment. The difference is going to really have to be night and day. And maybe you could argue, because I'm going to be playing the GTA 6 for hundreds of thousands of hours, maybe it's worth it. But it's a big ask. I mean, I don't know where you sit on it right now.
Probably, well, if I was putting your purchasing dial at sort of just above halfway right now, I'd maybe go up into like the 2/3, but not now, as you say. Like at the moment, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm fine. If we're talking about am I buying a PS5 Pro in May 2026, maybe, but it would be for GTA. I'm not gonna. There's nothing else on the horizon that would make me make that leap, and I've not really seen anything from the Pro at the moment that's going to make me upgrade from the regular PS5. Like I'm all right where I am.
Yeah,
but I do want to play the best version of GTA 6. So I don't know what that means.
Is there a price? What's the price at which PS5 Pro for you becomes maybe a yes proposition?
A bit later on, we've got a lot more on pricing.
Oh, well, let's save it for there then.
So let's save that hot take for a bit later on. But I think right now, we're both, right now in this episode at least, pretty much in the same place. Maybe I'm slightly leaning towards getting an upgrade, but let's see where we are at the end.
Allow me to quickly jump in and say, I will put this to the test in this week's newsletter.
Oh, good.
So subscribe via gamesradar.com/newsletter. I'm testing out some new polling tools. So hopefully if I can get that up and running for this week's newsletter, please subscribe to the newsletter. It's free, and submit your thing, and we'll have the results next week.
Love it. Now, the next statement in that tweet was around that there is a major update for the PS5 Pro coming sometime next year. Now, the plausibility rating on this, I'm putting at a big 10 out of 10. And I know you don't like 10 out of 10s, Dan, but that's what we're going for.
Wow.
There is, but it's okay because there's actually some evidence behind this.
Okay.
The website Tom's Guide spoke to Mark Cerny, who's the PS5 lead architect, about this very subject July the 1st this year, so not actually very long ago. There's a whole big article that you can go and read, but I've tried to summarize it with the help of some of my AI friends into some concise points. And there's a lot of words in here, but the first one is the PS5 Pro graphics upgrade is coming in 2026. Sony plans to release a major software update for the PS5 Pro in 2026, replacing its current PSSR, which is PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, upscaling tech with a more advanced algorithm co-developed with AMD. This will significantly improve frame rates and image quality, but only for PS5 Pro. The base PS5 lacks the required hardware. The upgrade stems from Project Atomist, a collaboration launched in 2023 between Sony and AMD to develop machine-based learning graphics tech. The partnership progressed faster than expected, delivering a breakthrough algorithm in under 9 months versus the predicted years. The new upscaler is the full-fat version of AMD's FSR 4, offering superior crispness over PSSR. It's a drop-in replacement for developers, but requires re-implementation of PS5 Pro's custom architecture. Sony focuses on expanding current PSSR adoption in games in 2025, and in 2026, FSR 4-like upscaler launches, targeting new titles. Implementation is complex and time-consuming due to the hardware differences. I said it was a lot of words. There was a lot of words there. But all of that summarizes as, yes, Sony are making updates to the PS5 Pro. Yes, that update is coming in 2026. And they're targeting new titles to implement that thing. GTA 6 is coming in 2026. It is a new title. I imagine it would be the gold thing, like the gold medal winning game for Sony to say, and to demonstrate all of this new stuff, here is GTA 6.
That makes absolute... Well, the words, the technical words make not absolute sense. The theory of a significant, I guess, software update that unlocks the technical capacity of PS5 Pro makes a lot of sense. As you're right, you were saying up top, 10 out of 10, not sure. But yeah, actually, Mark Cerny, like PS4's technical architect, has talked about this at length. And I've watched the video that you just described. He did one quite recently, within the last sort of 6-7 months. He did a presentation called the PS5 Pro Technical Seminar at SRE HQ.
Great, watch that.
Well, I mean, yes. Like, I've watched all 37 minutes of it and did come away going, what have I just seen? My summation at that time, and I could be wrong, was something, we're working with AMD on this Amethyst tech, and something, AI is going to improve our ability to make games look crisper, sharper, and render better. And it felt like a sort of software-led technical solution. I think someone much smarter than me can actually explain that, and I think the words are in there.
Yeah.
Long story short, PS5 Pro games are going to look even better than they do now because there's some clever jiggery-pokery in software. So when they roll it out, those words we've said are not, don't mean much. Putting a trailer for GTA 6 in front of people that looks sensational will. I think if it's a noticeable leap up, look at that sunset, look at the depth of quality in the background. You can see the elephant in whatever it is. Like that sort of stuff.
Look at this lizard's t-shirt.
Yeah, and you go, oh my God, it's definitely a stone. Whatever it is, all that stuff is the thing you can see and feel. That's really significant. So I buy into all of that. And this, like what you said, there's clearly been a PlayStation and Rockstar agreement around marketing. That's why it was running on a PS5. So there's something going on there. There is precedent for Rockstar doing these types of deals. But I think it is in these kind of semantics around performance. And it would make sense for Sony, who is still primarily a hardware selling, that's their business model. This sort of deal makes sense for them because it will sell more PlayStations and more PS5 Pros.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, what better showcase than the biggest game of the generation to go, and this is all of the improvements here in front of you. Like they did, I think in that video you were talking about, they did sort of do that with Spider-Man, but you were looking at it side by side going, I mean, you're telling me this looks better, and maybe it's the YouTube compression and things, and I'm sure it does look a bit better, but it was being sold as like look at this amazing new stuff, and you're like, okay, but I imagine the leap between PS5 and PS5 Pro with this new update on something like GTA 6 might, as you say, uncover an elephant.
Yeah, exactly. The elephant on the cliff will be revealed.
So the latter half of this statement is around that there are several GTA 6 PS5 Pro bundles coming as part of the marketing push, which could, I guess, be part of the thing that they've done with AMD and all of the, like you say, the trailers and everything like that. Speculation rating on this, I've gone for 9 out of 10. Will there be GTA 6 PS5 Pro bundles when GTA 6 comes out? Like, yes.
You think so.
You think so.
You would strongly think so.
Especially if this marketing agreement is in place and does extend to the release of the game and all of that kind of stuff. They did it for GTA 5 with PS4 bundles. When that came out, you could get an official PS4 with GTA 5 on the box. It didn't affect the console anyway, but it just had GTA 5 imagery on your PS4 box when you bought it from the shop. Didn't do that with PS5, I don't think. But somebody who has one or saw it might be able to correct me if I am wrong. And we were talking about the price earlier. Directly from PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 Pro currently is £699. Convert that across the board, it's pretty much the same. There are some retailers selling it at £659. Obviously, the PS5 pricing has been a bit all over the place recently because of tariffs between the US and all the other countries made prices go up earlier this year. We've got holiday season approaching, which sometimes reduces the price of consoles in a permanent way. They're going, and for the holiday, we're knocking X amount of pounds or dollars off the price. Please go and buy one for Christmas. With that in mind, the Pro model was released November the 7th, 2024. So last Christmas, almost, as we say, was $699, £699, 799 euros. You've got the base PS5 launching at £449. The current model on sale right now, they're pushing the digital versions of that, which is $339.99. Or you can get a base PS5 for $484.99 with 2 controllers, which is, actually about the same price as what it was when it launched, but you get 2 controllers now. It's a bit later in the generational cycle. The only way I can see this coming in at a reasonable price is if those holiday discounts come into effect. The base model maybe is $400 or $399.99 by the holidays if you wanted a PS5, just the regular one, and a PS5 Pro $649.99. Take £50 off where it is now.
Do you mean holidays?
This holiday.
This year. So like 2025.
Yeah.
Holiday
Come
season.
November.
Yeah.
Maybe they're knocking £50, $50 off the price as it is now.
Yeah.
Roughly $50, which puts, $649.99 is a nice price for retailers.
Yeah.
And then you've got to add in, if we're talking about a GTA 6 bundle in March 26th next year, the price of the game with a little bit of discounting here and there on both. So I'm predicting PS5 Pro with GTA 6 bundle would be £699.99 on March the 26th, 2026.
Yes.
Is that the price that tips you over the edge one way or the other?
Well, it does one way or the other. And the other is no.
It's essentially the same price is what I'm saying. It's going to be the same price as it is now, but you get GTA 6 included.
So there's a couple of different scenarios. I guess there's the existing PS5 owner looking to upgrade to Pro, hasn't got GTA 6. There's the haven't got any console. Where do I go? There's a few scenarios at play. Like for me as a PS5 owner, if my choice is £699, dollars, whatever, to get the game in a PS5 Pro, I'm saying no to that. It's just too much. It's too much money. Like I'm like of a certain age with children, and it's hard for me to justify, what would be a significant amount of money I could spend elsewhere. As much as I want the best version of the best game, and maybe something will change, and maybe I'll see the graphics and start telling myself little lies that mean I've got to buy it. I've got to. It's important. But at that price for me, that's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard. But I don't. And I guess for a lot of people, you say you haven't got a console at all. Let's say the base model is in the region of, and also there's a choice in between the disc version and the non-disc version. Could be anywhere between probably absolute dream scenario 300. That's probably too low because the way the world is volatile. Up to say 400. So you're probably looking at GTA for somewhere between, with GTA plus PS5, let's say 400 to 450 versus what we're predicting here, 699 to 700, maybe even more for the PS5. So there's a $300, $400 difference between Pro and PS5. Is that worth it? I just don't know. I don't know how you feel.
It's touch and go, I would say, at that price. If it does come in around £700, it's a big outlay. And as we'll get into in a second, that console is probably only going to be around for 2 or 3 years. Like if you upgrade to PS5 Pro now, you're looking at spending that money again in 3 years' time on a PlayStation 6, probably. So we're quite late in the life cycle. But let me throw this out for you as well. Sony have started doing leasing of their consoles via their official website. So now you can get a PS5 Pro console for just $17.99 a month forever.
Oh, what's the minimum contract terms? Do we know?
You can lease it for 12 months, which is £30.50 a month. The lowest one is a 36-month lease, which will then have you paying $17.99 a month for those 36 months, and you'll get the console for those 36 months, which is 3 years, right? Now, if you wanted to do the very quick maths on that, I don't know how much that actually totals. Let me do it. Well, you tell everyone what you think about that.
Well, is it 36 times 18? It's going to be about 700-ish.
650 pounds. So you've basically bought the console, but you're spreading it out over 3 months.
Yeah, and you don't own it either.
No,
so
you have to give it back.
Got to give it back.
Yeah.
So if you could find an alternative form of credit, like a credit card on 0%, I can't believe this has turned into a finance podcast. I would definitely do that because you would own it at the end. You've got some resale value.
Sure. Yeah.
Leasing is literally throwing the money away. It's just that may be your only option. I appreciate everyone's financial circumstances are different. But personally, if you could, I would finance it on 0% or find some other form of payment, then you own the machine and can sell it on.
This is great for the GTA 6 o'clock credit card that's coming out
well,
in the next 12 months.
Maybe. Let's wait and see the GTA 6 o'clock credit card. I don't know what kind of credit limit you get with that, but fair enough. It's an interesting market. It's nice that they've got the flexibility with this model, with leasing. It doesn't seem like tremendous value to me. Certainly not for the Pro. Like, that's quite a lot of money. Otherwise, you're looking at, what, £30 a month for 12 months? But then that's effectively the price of a Pro anyway, because that'll be almost, 30 times 12, £400-ish. Yeah. You've paid most of the price of a PS5 Pro then. So, they know what they're doing. They've done the balancing on the maths. So,
all right, and I guess while we're talking about PS5 Pro, life cycles, new consoles and things, it would be a shame not to talk about PlayStation 6 and how this fits into Rockstar's current cycle with GTA. Now, I don't feel that this has now landed them in a particularly regular cycle for a GTA game. It's almost like, especially if this PS5 Pro edition comes out at the same time as the game releases, they're almost launching like an enhanced edition of the game at the same time as they're launching the base edition of the game. So whereas like GTA 5 went from PS4 to PS5 to PC to PS5 Pro, like it sort of felt like it had a natural curve there. This one is going to have to come in at, some people are going to be playing base game, some people are going to be playing enhanced edition on PS5 Pro, maybe on Xbox Series X as well. And then you've got PC a bit later. As I said, I think the PS5 Pro life cycle is going to be about 3 years. Like the PS4 Pro came out in November 2016. PS5 came out in November 2020. So that's a 4-year cycle between Pro and next gen. The life cycles of these consoles feel slightly shorter. Pro came out last year. It's maybe got 2 years left, which takes you up to 2027. So PlayStation 6 in 2027 means they'd be talking about that console next June. Like in 2026 around, well, if E3 was being traditionally E3 time, next June would be the time that they would go, and here's a small tease of our next project. And it would be a flashy video with a lot of words and not a lot of games. But they'd say coming next holiday to get people excited. The problem with that is they're talking about that new console right after the GTA 6 launch, right? GTA 6, if it sticks to its dates, is coming out May the 26th, 2026. And then sometime in June, July, August, Sony are coming out going, hey, have you all heard about the PlayStation 6 that we're making? And then Rockstar are in that position of having to go, we will make GTA 6 on PS6 and it's going to be the best version ever. And maybe that version comes out in 2028. And in between the 2026 launch and the 2028 PlayStation 6 thing, you have the PC version in 2027. I mean, that, I guess from a financial point of view, makes a lot of sense for Rockstar. Do something next year on PS5 Pro, PC in 2027, PS6 in 2028. You've basically launched the game 3 times over 3 years, And we know how successful that is for them. So I can see all of these things falling into place is probably where I'm at now.
Yeah, there's a couple of surprising things within the dates. Like, one of them is like I'm actually surprised myself at the gap between PS4 Pro's release and PS5's release, which is 4 years. And I felt like I did own a PS4 Pro, and I felt like in all that time I was waiting for the game that justified it. And like mentally, I would say it was probably the original Death Stranding, but slightly better on PS4 Pro. Also, the gap between, it's interesting as you were talking about when is PS6, and assuming there will be a PS6, which seems likely. Cerny actually hints towards that in that technical presentation. The gap between announcing PS5 and it launching was about 18 months. It was announced in Wired. Mark Cerny did an interview where he talked about it, and that was like April 2019, before the console was released November 2020. So I don't know where that takes us all, but I think this timeline you proposed is accurate, maybe give or take a year, because things can change and time seems to be moving faster and etc. What does make sense is for Rockstar to kind of have one pillar version of GTA 6 each fiscal, theoretically. So their fiscal year, am I getting this right? Fiscal year 2026 begins next year, or is it 26-27 fiscal year, isn't it? It's going to be March 31st next year, 2026. That runs until March 31st, 2027.
I hope you're writing this down.
Oh my God, that's insane. It's insane to say it out loud. But like, they're saying, maybe the pillar release in that next year would be like a PS6 style enhancement or PC version.
PC, yeah.
Then followed by the next generation console enhancement. So you're actually pushing for Rockstar almost 3 fiscal years ahead. Which is wild. And I guess for them makes a lot of sense. Plus all the money they're going to truck in from GTA Online. You can see how they're bullish about their revenue pipeline going forward and becoming a money machine again. So yeah, I can basically buy into all of that. It's just hard to be 100% on the timeline because
of course
history doesn't always predict the future. But plausibly, I think it's all making a lot of sense.
And it's interesting what you were saying about you having the PS4 Pro and feeling like there wasn't really a title on it. Like, I think what this looks like is going to happen then is GTA 6 will be like PS5/PS5 Pro's like genre or generation defining title. Like, it feels like it's going to be the one that is held up to say, this is the one that actually hit all of the, technical marks, and it's really showing off the power of the Pro to its fullest. And that will come out next year, and then we'll be waiting, for PlayStation 6 before we see another big leap in whatever it is, graphical fidelity, loading times, any of that kind of stuff.
What's interesting is a quick scrub of Reddit, just for which game do people feel showed off PS4 Pro to the maximum. The winner is, can you guess? The winner is, on our Rockstar theme,
GTA 5.
It's not. It's
Red Dead 2.
Red Dead 2. Yeah, Red Dead 2.
Yes,
so I
of
put
course
you on
it
the
is.
spot there.
They are correct.
But yeah, it's correct. And I think people were saying, like, with coupled with an SSD drive, you could sort of feel the difference. And that, to this day, that's one of the best looking games there is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we're hoping for that plus a bit more with the PS5 Pro version of GTA 6.
My final statement then for this week, Dan, is, does this put them in a tricky place for, I'm going to say the words out loud, Grand Theft Auto 7, if it actually ever ends up happening? That feels like, again, given these timelines and things that are all speculative, but who knows, could come at the end of a console generation, or maybe right at the start of the next one, if there is a PlayStation 7, for example, given how long it's taken to develop GTA 6. If we're thinking that it's basically going to come out a year into the PlayStation 6 cycle-ish, I don't know if you'll get a new GTA game on that system. Like, GTA 6 will be the PlayStation 6 game, and if they're then developing a GTA 7, it feels like that will skip PS6 and it'll go straight to PS7.
Yes, and that wouldn't be unprecedented in that there was no new GTA game on PlayStation 4. You know, GTA 5 was a PS3 game. PS3 game. It's wild. Came out a lot of times. It got re-released, etc., on PS4. No new GTA game on PS4. So it could be they could skip another generation, and then I don't even know what number I'm counting anymore. PS7.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, wow. And that's at the stage where, again, I've been on a lot of media. I'll be retired by the time this is even a problem, right? So don't worry about it. I might be broadcasting.
No, you won't.
Oh, well, I won't
You'll
be
still be
retired.
here
Oh,
in
God,
this room.
Please don't say that. I'd like to be retired, whether the state pension and life circumstances allow it, we'll see. But it's a long time away, right? It's a long time away. And yeah, I just don't know if that's going to make sense. I think something you might have seen. You remember Obi Vermage, the guy who'd worked on GTA 3, Sniping at the Moon guy. He was saying something recently about how he felt that GTA 6 will be the most expensive game of all time and will forever remain the most expensive game of all time because he feels the current advances in graphics tech and coding responsible to AI will mean that they will never need that many people ever again to make a game for that long. He did say himself, that's no one will know if that's a true statement for another decade.
Yeah.
But there's a theory at play there where you will never need this level of manpower or time or dedication to make something of that fidelity again. Let's wait and see how true that is. So maybe that, weirdly, AI gives us hope of another GTA game on the next console.
On a PlayStation 6.
There's a headline in there somewhere.
Yeah.
AI saves GTA's next generation launch or some shit like that, right? I don't know. But that's not for me to write anymore. So
no. And let's not pretend that GTA 6 is going to be on PlayStation 6. There will be a enhanced version or whatever it is on that console. So you will get a GTA game. It just won't be a new one that we haven't seen.
You'll get the PC version with a bit of extra stuff, right? So you'll eventually, PC wins for a bit, then it's the next console wins for a bit. PC keeps evolving. That's how it works.
Well, lots to think about there. Let us know your thoughts if you're watching on YouTube in the comments below. You can get in touch on Twitter at GTAVOclock or via email gtavio'clock@gmail.com. Dan has already mentioned the newsletter, but you can sign up for that and you can give us your thoughts on the poll that may or may not be in there this week around if you're going to upgrade to the PS5 Pro. That is gamesradar.com/newsletter. Click on the GTA 6 one.
Yes, if I have a good meeting later on with someone in the technical department for the newsletter, polls will be active. But yeah, I've got to technically unlock that piece of software. It's a little bit complicated.
Great. Well, we will read all of your comments, so please put them below. We'll try and respond to as many of them as possible. And then we will be back next week for another episode of GTA 6 O'Clock.